Consider this moment in a hand of high-stakes no-limit hold'em. The player on the right is a more than 7-1 favorite over her opponent and is just one card away from raking in a $67,000 pot.
Ready?
Ooh, and a jack for Brittany.
I can't play.
Brutal river for Lingland.
That's the face of a woman who just played her hand perfectly, but still managed to lose more than the average annual salary in the United States in 2024. With this much money on the line, the old saying attributed to the American sports writer Grantland Rice, "It's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game," rings a bit hollow. In my previous video, I discussed how boxing is not like other sports because it doesn't have a sense of play. Well, poker feels similar. It's obviously not a sport, it's a card game, but it's not particularly playful because it's never just for fun. Poker is unplayable if nothing of value is at stake. The entire gameplay revolves around betting on the strength of one's hand. And when it doesn't go well, there are real consequences. Listen to how poker player and vlogger Ethan Yao, aka Rampage, describes a particularly painful losing streak.
How stuck are you right now, lifetime? Are you actually stuck?
Not lifetime, but the past 3 sessions, I'm down like $1 million at Hustler. So that's not fun. That's like a higher number than I've ever had before in my life.
Poker is also heavily based on deception, with bluffing being a crucial strategy. Plus, it's a zero-sum game where players only win what others lose. Put together, there's a lot of truth to the old adage.
There are no friends at the poker table.
In spite of all that, one of the most popular personalities in poker today is notoriously good-natured and friendly. I believe there are 3 main reasons for how Brad Owen has built such a strong sense of positive community in a game that is cutthroat and individualistic. Owen weaves a narrative of a scrappy poker pro on a journey to make his imprint on the game. He takes us along for the ride, and as a poker vlogger, the majority of his content is him walking us through his thought process on how he plays.
The opponent checks. If he has a medium pocket pair that didn't improve, he won't be able to call a bet anyway, and hands containing a king won't like that card either, so it'll be tough for us to get value out of worse holdings. If he has a set of 8s or 3s, we're way behind, and there's still some chance that he could have ace-queen that'll have us in rough shape. I check back for pot control and to induce bluffs.
His storytelling puts a huge emphasis on authenticity, which goes far beyond simply being honest about the highs and the lows. In addition to openly sharing his personal life with his audience, what makes him truly relatable is that he never forgets how inaccessible it is for most people to play a game for such high stakes and with such intense competition.
Today is the day that I push myself to the limit and test my skills in the biggest game that I've ever played. I can feel the adrenaline pumping through my body as I buy in for a rack and a stack. It was only a couple years ago that the thought of playing this big would make my heart race and cause me to lose my breath. The lineup consists of essentially the Mount Rushmore of poker. Doyle Brunson's on our left, Phil Ivey's on the right, and Phil Hellmuth is the person 2 doors down from us who bought in for $300,000. Collectively, my neighbors have 36 total bracelets and over $70 million in career tournament earnings. If someone had told my 20-year-old self that in my 30s I'd be playing high-stakes poker against this group, there's no way that I would have believed it. It's hard for my brain to even process what's happening right now.
While he openly acknowledges that his goal is to win money, he puts a strong emphasis on his other motivations, such as having fun with friends and family and engraving his name in poker history. This is all part of the sense of fun and joy that Owen brings to the game of poker, and his use of language reflects that.
I bet 900. I offer up a free ticket to Troy to take a one-way trip to Value Town. He's got water aerobics in the morning and doesn't want to skip it, so he isn't in the mood to take any trips. He folds ace-9 offsuit face up. It's not mandatory to play it, but Chaz has never seen 2 cards that he doesn't like, particularly when he's on the button. I once saw Chaz raise holding the 3 of clubs and a gift card to Applebee's. Luckily, my accountant is still on the phone. He says that my hand is basically face up and 350 is too much. kind of agree with him, but this is the same guy who advised me to invest big in Beanie Babies several years ago, so I can't fully trust him.
What really distinguishes Brad Owen's linguistic creativity is his great contribution to poker slang, the nickname he has given to pocket jacks.
Pocket Jiggities under the gun. Minutes later, it's our turn with the Jiggities. 2 hands later, I pick up Pocket Jiggities on the button. I genuinely didn't love this hand several years ago, but since I started making jokes about it, I feel like I've run really well when I pick it up. Anyway, a player in middle position opens at 30, the high Jiggity calls.
It's clearly informed by hip-hop culture, with Jay-Z's nickname being the Jigga Man, and coming out of Owen's mouth, it's a bit of self-mockery.
Pick up Pocket Jiggities in the hijack. I'm going to tell you the best story that I have about this hand. The first time that I met Phil Ivey, which was a couple months ago, I asked him to do a joke for the vlog with me about Jiggities. He says, "Jiggities? What the hell is that? Sounds like some kind of racist shit. I bet they're blackjacks too." I'm confused and completely caught off guard. I just offended my favorite poker player on the planet, and my immediate reaction is to say, "What? No." He sees that I'm distraught, starts smiling at me, and says, "I'm just fucking with you, dude."
His coining of hip-hop inspired poker slang makes an implicit reference to himself as a lanky white guy who is estranged from rap coolness. The term goes beyond simply being funny. It serves as a way for members of Brad's community to self-identify, as explained by slang expert Tom Dalzell. Slang's primary reason for being, to establish a sense of commonality among its speakers, further ensures its widespread use. When slang is used, there is a subtext to the primary message. That subtext speaks to the speakers and listeners' membership in the same tribe.
Yeah, I got Jiggities on the last hand.
We've got Pocket Jiggity!
All right, cool.
Pocket Jiggities for the win, baby.
Yes.
In addition to his humor, a big part of Brad Owen's charm is that he comes off as genuinely kind.
How much did you buy in for in the 1-2?
200. I brought 400. But
All right, man. I'll give you another 200 to hop into the meetup game. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you 3. Cool, man. Take a shot, dude. Good luck. Yeah.
thank you, Brad.
Yeah, no problem, man.
After some very gentle teasing, this is how he describes the town of Midland, Texas when he visits for a meetup game.
In all seriousness, Midland is an underrated city with plenty of cool things about it. The weather's beautiful, so Andrew and I want to be outside, and we go see some of the sports facilities nearby. We find this cat. I like cats. Then for dinner, we go to this pretty amazing taco joint with a plethora of delicious options. At night, we check out the beer garden, which is one of the highlights of the trip. They have tons of beers on draft, some people singing karaoke, and it's a fun spot to hang out and mingle with the locals. There's definitely a charm to this area, and there are lots of extremely nice people.
But what sums up his genius is that he's nice like a fox. Since he says positive things about wherever he goes in such a kind and sincere way, it sounds totally natural when he's being paid to say it.
People are here to check out several of the ship's top restaurants and try the exquisite cuisine. They're here to see exhilarating, one-of-a-kind shows and party like there's no tomorrow. Then wake up in spacious rockstar suites before doing it all again. Yeah, some people are here for those things, but not everybody.
After all, Owen is a poker player who's just trying to take his brand recognition to Value Town to stack up a few extra Bradley dollars. To some degree, Brad Owen is playing the character of himself. That is in no way to suggest that he is insincere. However, any kind of public figure, whether it's in poker, sports, music, movies, science, art, or personal development, must adopt a public persona. In this case, the persona of themselves. What makes Brad so successful is that with his authentic storytelling, humorous language, and empathetic character, he makes us forget that poker at its core is money-driven and individualistic. He casts a spell over his viewers so that we have no choice to fall in love with him, even though he's actively trying to take our chips.